Hello, fellow human. This is day 20 of my 30-day Talk to Camera challenge. Today I'm supposed to reflect on how I've grown over the years. And upon a little bit of reflection, I think the biggest area of growth that I've had, or at least the most impactful, most significant, is the level of thoughtfulness and awareness that I have now. And it's taken a lot of years to get here. When I think back to my early 20s, my lived experience was based on short-term decision making. I didn't really plan for the long term, and I'm not sure if it's because I didn't think that I would live until I was 50 or 40 or 60 or to retirement. I didn't think I would survive it, or if that was out of reach no matter what I did. And so what's the point in even considering it and putting effort into it? Or I think what's most likely is I was living, week to week, paycheck to paycheck. And it's really hard to get ahead in that situation. It is difficult to plan for the future because you can't do anything about it, really. And so you just avoid thinking about it. It's not something you have to worry about because you couldn't do it anyway. I think in my early 30s, when I met my wife and it became clear that we were going to be together forever, that my mindset changed. And it went from just enjoying the day to needing to plan for our security in the future. And the pendulum, I think, swung too far in the other direction for me, looking back on it now, because almost all of my decision making was based on needing to catch up from missing out in my 20s to prepare for the future, and really aggressively trying to get ahead because I felt a sense of responsibility for our security and safety and financial wellness and all of that. So my 30s were dominated with the grind and foregoing a lot of experiences and things. Honestly, foregoing a lot of joy in the interest of catching up on planning for the future. And then about 5 years ago, the pendulum started swinging back. And I'm hoping it kind of stops in the middle at this great point, because now I have balanced the scales, so to speak. In my 20s, when I was living spontaneously, carpe diem type of mindset, I was also not doing it very thoughtfully. That is to say, I was having the lived experience, but I wasn't doing it very mindfully or with a whole lot of awareness. I was just enjoying and existing. But now, over the last 5 years, I've learned that you can focus the lens where it's appropriate. Sometimes you need to have the long-term view, and it's going to be an impacting factor on whatever decisions you're making, even if those decisions are about today or tomorrow or a short-term goal. But I can also sit in the moment and appreciate through awareness and reflection what exists right now. Well, I think that evolution of my mind frame and having lived both sides of the pendulum has benefited me because now I have the grand view, and I know that I can shift that distance time frame when I'm thinking about impacts of my decisions or what I want. I would say another way that I've grown over the years is being more compassionate and thoughtful about any given situation. It remains a lifelong endeavor to keep improving at having that kind of mind frame. Hello? But it's something I'm going to continue to do. I think I was way more selfish when I was younger, and now I tend to think about things in terms of its impact on other people. So maybe just being more thoughtful and more considerate. And I think lastly, a way that I've grown that has had a pretty significant impact on my life is the interest I'm taking in like personal health. So when I was younger, I didn't sleep well, I didn't eat well, drank too much, smoked cigarettes, had hobbies that were really tough on the body and participated in those hobbies without really a whole lot of consideration. And now I intentionally try to make better decisions about those kinds of things, whether it's the food I'm eating or having a second adult beverage or how much I want to sleep, any of those things. I'm every year that goes by, I'm treating myself better. And for me, it's kind of it's also an investment in the long term, I suppose. So I've seen some really great impacts with that, especially having been walking a lot over the last year and a half. Before COVID, I used to go and work out, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and I just never got back on it once everything opened back up. So this has been really great to be walking every day with weight. It's pretty low impact on the knees and the ankles, and it's more my pace now. I don't mind taking a little bit of extra time to walk a few hours a day if I can. Maybe once I get back into the grind and do a little bit of shifting into that long-term decision making and mindset, that I'll have a little bit less time, but this is really enjoyable. So I think I'm going to do what I can to try to find time to maintain a good level of outdoor activity for myself. That's day 20. How I've grown over the years. That's the mindset through which I process my experience, being more thoughtful and considerate over time and understanding my impact on others. And increasingly being healthier in the choices I make. Let me know if you got to the end of this video what your areas of growth are. It's an interesting question, and it really does. I have a tough time thinking about these topics because I don't like to talk about myself so much, but I suppose that's what we're doing here. So there it is. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.